The mantra from Vadim Zeland's magnum opus, Reality Transurfing, is to live freely and allow others to do the same. Now, this mantra, this concept of living freely, living as you wish, living as you intend, and allowing others to do the same, it sounds beautiful. It sounds profound in its simplicity. But what I find is there are challenges here. You see, humans are social creatures, and we are creators as well. As all these manifestation books indicate, we've got the divine spark of God in us. We're a fractal of divine consciousness that has its own unique expression and its own power to create with the infinite one. But with this potential, again, there's these challenges. There's challenges in that we are not an island. That's the paradox of it all. Even though we have the power of infinite creativity within us, we're in this bigger painting, this bigger canvas of creation. And we're co-creating with others with different beliefs, different values than we have. And what you're going to find, if you're an awakened soul, if you're an intentional manifester, you're going to find you're always going to run into that person who you feel is just really fucking stupid, or people who you find really annoying, people who you find absolute disdain for because their beliefs are so out of alignment with what you value, of what you want to show up as. People who I would call the NPCs, whose beliefs are all programmed by the thought forms, these bigger thought forms, or pendulums, as Vadim Zeland would call them, that pull on their strings, tell them what to think, who to be, and how to show up. And we're navigating these systems of the world, systems of government, systems of society that are basically pendulums in themselves. They're structures that are extraneous to the truth of who we are, but yet have their own thought, have their own energy, and have an artificial life that has sway, seemingly sway and influence over us in the matrix. So the challenge is still, how do we show up with our creative spark? How do we co-create in this world with systems that can be in opposition to our values? And our power is greatest when we're in a state of peace and we're in a state of neutrality, when we're not getting triggered, we're not in a combat mode, we're not angry, we're definitely not in shame or despair or apathy, but we're in this place of neutrality where we can let things be. And again, the challenge is when we face obstacles to our intentions, obstacles to our desires. The more intentional we get, we become more aware of what's out of alignment, what we're saying no to. But yet sometimes we're in these places of life where we have to deal with these obstacles. And what I find is that we've got to let the negativity express. We've got to find an appropriate way of letting feelings of anger, feelings of sorrow, feelings of despair move through us. Feel these emotions, but move through us. Because it's when we hold on to these states, when we hold on to anger, we hold on to fear, we hold on to guilt and shame, that's when our free energy, our source power gets blocked. And we just are showing up as a small fraction of what we can potentially be and what we truly desire to be. So this is a skill. This is the skill in transurfing if you're an intentional manifester. And make no mistake about it, the NPCs out there in the world, they're co-creators too. They're co-creating. They're giving life to the egregores that pulled their strings, and they find every bit of disgust and irritation with somebody like me who doesn't play by the rules, who doesn't value the rules. And this is, again, this big dance is getting good at understanding the game that we're playing, because it is a game. This reality is a game, and there are certain rules to how it operates, and the rules that we were taught are not the true rules. Those are the rules that serve the structures, the pendulums. But when you start to see the true rules that are the principles, the first principles in this guiding fabric of what we call reality, then we get good at being able to create what we want. And that is the art of transurfing, flowing, riding the waves, living free. You think of a surfer. Surfers have this life of freedom, riding waves, being at peace in a tsunami. And this is a skill. This is a skill that is not easy to learn, but as you get better at it, you get better at being able to live free while letting people do the same. Feel your emotions, let them go. Ride the waves, ride the tsunamis, and coast when the waters are quiet. That's how you get really fucking good at transurfing and creating intentionally in this matrix of perception. I'm Jason Abraham, Shadow Teacher 33, and I'll see you on the other side.